It's the final day of the multi-party national convention in Kempton Park, where 7 political parties have gathered to discuss a coalition aimed at ousting the ANC from power. It's being hailed as a historical moment for South Africa's opposition parties in sensing an opportunity after nearly 30 years of ANC rule. The door has also been left open for other parties to join. But how effective will this pact be in next year's polls? And to give us the perspective, we have political analyst Levy Ndou joining us. Levy, good afternoon to you, and thank you so much for joining us. One could argue that this is a positive sign of a maturing democracy and a political landscape as well. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, Cindy. Good afternoon to the viewers at home. This is one activity that could not be avoided, in the sense that since 2016, we've had coalitions government getting intensified in our body politic, and we've seen a number of coalitions at local government and hung municipalities that are over 60. That will therefore tell you that the road towards coalition is a reality, and responsible politicians and leaders would have to sit down and plan ahead on what they should do in terms of this irreversible situation that appears to be coming towards our direction. But what is also very central in my view is that few as they might be, there appears to be a starting point for these political parties, and wherever they've started onto, my sense is that they need to build up to it and, if possible, attract more other political parties to join, because I think on their own, they can't make it as you look at the numbers.
I want to look at the Constitution, what it all means. While we are celebrating the democracy and right to exist, as political parties or whatever formation, what does it mean in terms of electing leaders? Yes, they're still going to huddle around the table to have a manifesto that speaks to these very issues of positions. They did say that they will make sure that it's based on merit and not cadre deployment. But when it comes to electing leaders, according to the Constitution, Levy, where is the stumbling block there?
I think we still have a long way to go, looking at the issues that are being raised here at the Charter, but also at the same time, issues that relate to electing leaders in South Africa are constitutional matters. What is quite interesting and impressive about what is happening with this charter or with this meeting is that they appear to be moving faster and deal with issues that relate to constitutional matters. Of course, they would need to go to Parliament, ensure that they've got bigger numbers, and convince their other members of Parliament if there could be constitutional amendments that is supposed to be made. The unfortunate part is that in South Africa, changes or constitutional amendments would actually take longer, and that has a potential to create a situation where people will just talk about issues and nothing actually takes place, which is an area that our politicians have to look at and deal with.
All right, much appreciated, as always, Levy Ndou, giving us his political analyses of what transpired earlier on day 2, concluding of the National Convention as we head to the 2024 elections. Of course, different political machinations happening, very exciting for the democracy, a maturing democracy at that. But what does it mean to you as a voter in the elections coming up?